Okay, YouTube wants to update on my other phone. That's fine. Hi, whoever's in. Just be a moment. I'm just going to sort something next. Little. It's a little cold in here, so I'm just going to turn the heating back on. The rest of the flat is lovely and warm, but this room, because it doesn't get used much, is not, so update that, and then I'll be able to see if I can put this up here out of the way. No. Is the answer. It's more out of the way there, kind of. Right, okay. Right, so YouTube is just updating on my other phone. So once it finishes updating, I'll be able to see any messages that people have put. Thank you for coming, whoever's here. I'll just write number 2 as well. Right, well I've put number 3 out, so I'll start with number 3 and then go back to number 2. Right. So I'm just doing. I'll be live for about 40-50 minutes to an hour, and I'm going to do the next butterfly in the kit that I've got. So the next diamond butterfly. So this is number 2 that I did yesterday. Hey Ashley, and hey Michael's Adventure. Yeah, I've changed my name. So it's still Carolyn Dewars, but I thought I'll include the Crafts and More part. Just so that it gives an idea as to what I hope my channel to be about, or I would like my channel to be about, kind of thing. So it might get more people interested. We'll see. There's certainly no harm in it anyways. So now that that's done, go to channel and live. I'm glad that I managed to find my old phone. Oh, you've watched yesterday's, but thank you, Ashley. Right, so that's them ones done. So this is the butterfly I'm doing today. Right, and on average it's taken me about an hour to do the one side. And then, like I've been saying, I'll do the other side by myself, probably next week at some point. I don't really need to do both sides on camera. After all, they're all the same. just going to get some more wax on my dabber. That enables me to pick up the jewels, and then we're away. And then, as you can see, I'm just I've got a little bit that I've covered with the sticky stuff there, the cover, so that I can push it down if I need it, and the dabber just picks up the gems and I place them onto the relative number. So this red is number 3. I've got 2 then, and sometimes it will pick up 2 diamonds as opposed to just 1. There we go. Hey John, hey White Tiger, you okay? Hopefully you can see this aura on the camera as well, on my phone. Good. Yeah, I noticed you've been on like almost for like 9.5 hours or something again last night. At least you got some sleep though, that's good. You know, for as much as I am trying to, when I do stream and that, I can do it for about an hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2, but I couldn't really envision myself doing any activity for longer than a couple of hours. I must admit, as I struggle a little bit with the length of time I'm out and on my feet at college, because I'm at the lesson itself at college is 3 hours long, and we're always on our feet, generally speaking, doing at least 3 or 4 different dishes throughout those 3 hours, and then generally dishes that all go together. And then I've got my travel time as well, which, although it's like only probably half a mile to a mile from mine to the college, it's about a 5-minute trip on the bus into Walsall, and then I have to walk across town, which is about 15 minutes. So when you think about it, I've done that twice and I come out early. I do get there very early. I'm probably out of the flat for about 6 hours or so. And so I've most definitely had enough by the time I get back. And that is probably the most I would like to be out and doing something in particular, but at least I've got a purpose kind of thing. But in my own day-to-day life, I really don't like doing anything for more than a couple of hours at a time, because I tend to get a bit fidgety and bored after so long. So I mean, even the game streams that I've done, I think I've only done a maximum of about 1.5 to 2 hours. And the same if I'm just playing the game myself, I'll do like half an hour to 2 hours or so. I really don't. Yeah, I can't play for like I just really can't do anything for more than a few hours, to be fair. Probably like the only exception to the rule is when we go out for the day. Because if I'm out for the day, I've got no choice. I have to do whatever I'm doing for the entire day. But I'll still have breaks in between. I won't go on like when we go to the theme parks. I don't go on roller coasters constantly because I'm not that way inclined. I'm not that enthusiastic about the coasters and stuff. But we're walking around pretty much all day. I'll still have breaks, you know, I'll have lunch and I'll have snacks and stuff. But that is the only time I'm literally doing anything for the entire day. Is when we go away anywhere, if we go out for the day or if we go on holiday or something. But when I'm at home, it's just a few hours here and there that I'll do something for, and then I'll chill and do something else. My mind gets I can't really focus on anything for too long, I think, for whatever reason. I'm not too sure why. I just can't really focus for too long. I think the most I play on a game is when I play right, diamond painting. Basically, rather than picking that one up. Basically, you're not going to really be able to see, but you've got numbers on the picture. And so this one I've got numbers 1, 3, 6, 5, 4 and so on. So yeah, I've got numbers, and each number corresponds to a jewel. Like this one's number 15. I know you can't see the number, but that one's number 15. And then you're just placing the individual dots or stones, as they call them, on their respective numbers. So it's a lot like paint by number, but the difference is that you're using stones rather than paint, essentially. And the dabber just works by you get given a little square of wax, which, don't chuck it over, which you just place the dabber into, and you get a little bit of wax in the dabber, and that allows you to pick up the stones, and then you just place them on the picture, and the picture's already got a glue adhesive on it of some sort. So that's it basically, and they'll just the stones will just stick. I mean, probably if I knocked it about, the stones might fall off, but they do stick. And then what you can do is there's loads of different pictures and different styles online, on Amazon, on eBay and Wish and so on. You just need to find the right ones, because you've got, this is a relatively new one to me, just doing like keyring size, but there are more than just these. I find it very calming. There are more kits available than just these butterflies that I was sent by the board crafter. So you've got these mini kits, I would say. Usually come, looking on Amazon, they seem to come with about 4 or 5 sometimes 6 different pictures for you to do, keyring designs for you to do, and then they supply you with the beads that you need as well. So I got, you know, what's in here I got in the kit, plus all of this stuff here as well, with the exception of the pill boxes. It's all supplied in little plastic bags, plus the dabber and the tray and the wax. So you can get these kits, and then the other ones that I'm aware of is you can get pictures, and they can be anything, these pictures, pretty much. I got peacock from the Works. Yeah, I'm using this red first, and then I've got a silver one to use, and yeah, they're all different colours. They're all, you'll see the different colours as I'm filling it in. But yeah, they send you the Pacific, yeah. They send you the coloured beads that you need in order to complete the picture. They send them you in enough quantity and colours to being able to complete. So by the time I'm finished each one of these butterflies, I should have used each one of the colours that I've got. Each one of the colours and stones at least once. And generally speaking, you have stones left out because they always oversupply, which is a good thing, in case that generally speaking you seem to get more anyways, which is always a good thing in case you drop a few whilst you're working. And then, yeah, you don't have to pay separate for the gems or anything. It's just part of the kit, or it should be part of the kit. And then so like I said, I got this one from the Works, and pictures like this they tend to call oh, that's gone there. A full picture that's just made up of diamonds, they tend to call a full diamond picture. But you can also, I've also been sent in the past ones where you've got a picture but only certain areas need to have the diamonds put on. I think it's nice and relaxing and interesting at the same time. So yeah, I was sent some that I got some. In theory, you should be able to. You should be able to in theory, but there might be some that you'll find a little bit more tricky. But each dot is numbered, so you should be able to see where it goes. I mean, if you've ever done a pack by numbers, you may know that sometimes you've got a really small area to colour in, or a colour by numbers or something, and sometimes you've got a really small area, so then you may not see it quite so easily. Yeah, it can depend on the size of the picture and how many beads are in the picture. There are some that have a lot of beads and some that don't. And these ones are quite nice because they're all numbered. But then you've got other kits, like this is a big kit that gives you a tiger like that eventually, which I've started. And you've got the numbers from 1 to 10, from 1 to 9. And then you've got, instead of a double digit, you've got E and H for your extra numbers. And then just a one-off dot for number 12. So some of them, I can see the numbers, but it may be more tricky for other people. I will get round to finishing them at some point. That was, you know what? I actually seen that in Morrison's in one of their magazine aisles, I think. I'm sure that's where I picked it up from. But they also have them in the works. They've had them in the works and stuff. In the UK, I don't know what the equivalent would be in America, but they do. I think they do have them in some shops now, as well as just online. So it can depend on how much you're willing to pay for the kit, because obviously in a shop it might be a bit more expensive. Sometimes in a shop it's a bit more expensive than it is online, but at least with the shop you're guaranteed that they've checked the quality and everything. Obviously the other place would be Hobbycraft as well, in the UK. So that red pattern now is all the number 3 dots done that I can see. So what I'm going to do is, with the diamonds that are left on my trays, I'm going to put them back in this pill box and save them for later. I would, if you're going to do one of these, I would recommend either, if you're doing a small one like this, you can just do one colour at a time. If you are doing a larger picture, if you choose to do a larger picture, then what you can see is that I've actually ripped parts of the covering, so I can just lift it up a piece at a time and concentrate on one area and then move on. So I'll probably either go across or up until I've finished doing the one area. So even though it means as I get I'll do one colour and then start with the next colour, it's better to concentrate on one area with the bigger pictures at a time. And so you can uncover the bottom corner, say, like I've done there, and do all of the number 1s in that area, and then move on to colour number 2, and then colour number 3, and so on, until you've filled that area up. For me, that's the best way to do it, and it also means that I don't have to worry about it, about the glue sticking to my hands or whatever on the larger pictures, because trust me, the glue here is really quite sticky. So if I was working on this, I would just literally have it like that and I would be dabbing away in the area, and I wouldn't be getting stuck to the rest of the picture by keeping the cover on and just doing a little bit at a time, little section at a time, I should say. This one, because it's such a smaller area, well, so I did keep the bottom part of it on when I first started. Once I've covered up the edges, I don't need to worry about whether or not my hand's going to stick to it, because my hand isn't going on the actual butterfly. It just really depends on the size of the kit that you get, whether it's a medium, a small diamond painting like the butterfly, you know, a key ring, or a medium one, or a large one. I mean, with this one I did the same. I pulled it up a bit at a time and done that section and then that section and so on. So it's always an idea to do it section by section and colour by colour in that section. And then these little pillboxes are a godsend. You can get these virtually everywhere. They're a few quid online for like sets of 3 or 4. Right, so number 4, colour number 4, which is a blue. I mean, you don't have to get pillboxes. In the kit there is usually several of these little bags, but I know myself that these little bags, occasionally they can be hard to open, and from constant opening and closing they'll sometimes tear a little bit. These little pillboxes aren't going to do that. You know, I can just literally open and close it safe and they're not going to tear. And I can reuse these, whereas I might not be able to reuse the little bags if they've broken or teared. Kind of thing. So I'm just going to put some of the blue in there and then put the rest in the tub. And then the other thing you can do is, if you've got a suitable marker pen, or if you've got little, some of them will actually come with little labels. Good. Yeah, sometimes they'll come with little labels as you can just stick on. So these ones, I think they had a piece of paper in that had little labels, but you can also get little dots, or yeah, you can get like round sticker dots and what have you at most pound shops that you can use to just write a number on. That's good, White Tiger. It's good that it didn't take you as long. I must admit, as I'm replaying through, well, yeah, when you started playing, I started replaying my game, and I must admit that the bots in that really aren't taking me as long as they once did. Certainly nowhere near as long as when I first started. I mean, so far, apart from when I've accidentally jumped down a cliff, none of the bots have actually managed to kill me yet, which is quite good. You know, if I've been knocked down a cliff or something, fair enough, but they actually haven't managed to kill me in a combat situation yet. touch wood. So that's really quite good. But it's just you get more, the more you play the game, you get more experience and you get to know what works better. I would still seriously recommend you will if you leave the if you leave the Frozen Wilds till after you're at level 30, you'll still have stuff to do for Aloy well, once you've got the armour. What else? You can prioritise some of the hightowns, some of the side quests more, or you can just go up to different beasts and attack them and watch how you don't really get injured and stuff. You don't, once you get to the end fight, you don't have to do the fight straight away. You can leave it whilst you go and do other things and then come back to it when you're ready. Nearly put them away and I've still got to put a couple more dots out. I mean, you've done really well considering that you've only got the one bow, or you did only have the one bow. I would really have recommended that you get all 3 bows because they are so useful, each of the different bows. Yeah, there is one at Gaia Prime. I think you have to go to the side at Gaia Prime, so you get to where you get to Silence's workshop, and I think you have to go to the side from there, but I'm not certain what direction. I mean, you can probably look it up and stuff. So that's number 4. Number 5 is a lovely green. Right, I'm just going to go and get a drink and something else. I'll be right back, guys, okay? I'll be right back, so just carry on looking at the butterflies. We'll talk among yourselves. You can turn the heating off now. It's warmed up in here a bit more. Right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that, I just needed to grab a drink. Just needed to grab some water. Yeah. Yeah, I was saying that you've done really well considering you've only got a few of the weapons and not most of them. As long as you can blow, it doesn't matter whether you've got all the weapons or just one of the weapons, really. There we go. So that's number 5. It's probably more than enough gems on the tray. You just need to make sure with these that you are picking up the side that is the colour and not the silver. Yeah, it can be a bit of a nuisance at a time, but again, you just have you sometimes get given extra health potions during a fight, mostly from people, but sometimes the animals will give you them as well, the beasts. So you do get given some extra stuff in that. You might want to have a look at your inventory and see what you need to upgrade your med kit and your not your med kit, because you've got your med kit at level 3 now, haven't you? But your potions bag, so that you can carry more potions and make sure you've always got them on hand. But you can go through them quite quickly. I know you can. Good. It's good that you're upgrading stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Tales and Gaming. I think that's because they're doing more games at the moment rather than art, but I'm sure you did I'm sure Tales did an introductory video explaining. Did a new intro video explaining it. Well, see now this puzzles me. Right. I think you've downloaded the game and everything. I think you might want to check to see whether or not there are any updates, because when I got on my game for the last week, when I started it again, it told me that there was an update available, and that update has put more skills in the travellers section, and that's where the skill is coming from, to repair your mount and do some other stuff as well. And I swear they weren't there before, so you might want to check and make sure that there wasn't an update. Right, okay. It's just that I notice sometimes when when you've brought up your skills, that there is a line there, but they're not there. The skills themselves aren't there. There's a gap, but there's no pictures for you to click on. But if you've updated it again since, that might make a difference. But yeah, it kind of like, you know, it kind of surprised me that there was an update. And then I think, I'm not certain, but I think because of the update, I seem to have a couple more quests as well. So it's possible with the new game coming out that they've decided to add more to the old game. A little bit, add a few more side quests and stuff. I mean, I don't know if there's anything more in the Frozen Wilds, as I haven't explored that area other than to mark a campfire there to the moment. I'll do that when I'm 90%, about 80 to 90% way through the main storyline. But that tells you some more stuff about Silent. Silent doesn't want you to go up there for a start. So it tells you some more stuff about his past. And then obviously we've watched that the new promo for the game, which is alluding to him and Hades being a yeah, it is a fantastic game. I really hope that they will carry on and do another sequel in a few years or something, and hopefully add to this sequel like they did. There's I was watching, what was it earlier? I watched a video about the timeline, and they've done some graphic novels, which I wasn't quite aware of, but they've done some graphic novels based on some of the characters and Aloy herself. So you've got them to look into if you wish to. And then, yes, very true. Very true, they can do that quite easily, add new parts to the map. Number 6, which is purple. They can add more places to the map. They can, I mean, Frozen Wilds was an add-on. You got to that section where the Grey's Hoard is and you couldn't go beyond it, but now you can, because it's literally behind the Graves Hoard area. And so if you do, when you redo that part, or if you've done it, yes, that was the other thing I noticed. A couple of times I've gone into the water, and actually you can now go under the water a little bit in the original game, but it doesn't really do it that what's the word? While it allows Aloy to go under the water a little bit so far, it's not really a mechanic of the game, so I'm glad that they're expanding it and making it part of the new game. Yeah, it is slow when she's underwater, when she's in the water and under it as well. I mean, you can press down and forward at the same time on your analog stick, but she still doesn't swim that much faster. And it can be a bit of a pain holding the analog stick down. Yeah, she's going to be a lot faster. It looks, from what I've seen of the new game, it looks as if swimming is going to be one of the mechanics, one of the big mechanics for exploring. Because it looked as if she might end up fighting or at least swimming with what looked to be either sharks or Pokasu. Yeah, I can't say the word properly, but the swimming dinosaur, Sipocosaurus, or yeah, I can't say the name right. But there's the big. There were a couple of dinosaurs that swam millions of years ago. There's some that had longer necks, and then there's the one that features in Jurassic World that actually eats the other dinosaur at the end. It jumps up and eats the dinosaurs. And so I think that one's going to be in there, and possibly some that look like sharks. I'm not certain. And yeah, it looks like you might be grapple points, and yeah. So they're going to work on the mechanics and make her a bit more movable. Maybe do some more of the stuff that you can do in Tomb Raider, kind of thing. Because the movement set does remind me of Lara in Tomb Raider, but the world that Aloy inhabits, it's breathtaking. Some of the story, I think, feels like it's kind of based off a similar idea to the Terminator stories, where you've got you're in a post-Olympic world. I didn't see that part. I didn't notice a flying shield. Yeah, I mean, you're in a post-apocalyptic world after everything's been destroyed and it's trying to be built back up again. And you've got machines trying to turn against humanity. Because that's what Hades effectively is. It's a rogue program that's trying to rewrite everything, trying to destroy the world again. I haven't really watched that too well, the War of the World stuff. And it's not like time. It's not time travel or anything like that, like it is in Terminator. But it's just like the future is threatened. It was destroyed. The human race was destroyed by machines. Then they're rebuilding, and now they're being threatened with destruction by machines again. Kind of thing. It also to me as well has a lot of undercurrents that I recognise from like the tribe and the 100, the tribal societies and stuff. But I just really like the game. Don't really need to overanalyze it too much. I just really like the game. The graphics are fantastic. The beasts are breathtaking, some of them. Yeah, robots try to take over the world. That's something that keeps coming up in a lot of sci-fi and post-apocalyptic worlds and stuff. It's something that quite a few humans are afraid of, I think. I mean, if you think about it in this day and age, actually technology has mostly already taken over the world. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, technology has definitely overtaken the world. And the level that we rely on some technology at the moment, it wouldn't take much to throw a spanner in the works sometimes. Which is why there are supposed to be safeguards and everything. Keep pushing the butterfly over and I don't mean to. It's no good having it over there if you can't see it. Right, so that's all of the little dots done now. And now it's just a case of doing the bigger ones, which are in here. I'm not certain when we got the book, when we got the game. I don't think we got it when it first came out. In fact, I'm positive we didn't get it when it first came out because we got it, when we got it, we got a guidebook with it from Game. So I'm positive that we didn't get it when it first came out. So I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get it sooner. But having said that, when I first played it, I loved the scenery and the monsters and stuff. But I must admit, as it took me a few times to actually get the story behind it. It took me quite a while to get through the story. And that's the first, I think the first few times I started to play it, I got so far and then stopped because it was a bit too hard at the time, I think. But then I started looking at the guidebook. I went back to it and I looked at the guidebook, and having the guidebook made quite a difference. And I believe it is, just a second. I know it is definitely on PS4 and 5, but I'm sure I've seen some people saying as it's on PC as well. It might be exclusive to PS5 for a few months, and then it might go out onto PC. I think they did that with Tomb Raider. They made Rise, and then I think Shadow as well. They did exclusively for the Xbox, and then a few months later they released it on PlayStation and PC and so on. So it might be exclusive on PlayStation for the first few months to 6 to a year or something, and then it'll come out onto other platforms over time, onto PC. It won't ever be on Xbox, I don't think, but it might go on to PC and, yeah, PC. I'm just glad that it's on PS4 rather than exclusively on PS5. I'm really glad of that. Don't know who that is. So I'm really glad that it's gonna be on PlayStation 4 and 5, and not just 5. I'm still miffed as I can't play the new Ratchet & Clank because that's only available on 5. I don't think that's even going to be downgraded so it can it'll be available on PS4 anytime. Yeah, I mean, we've got a PS4, so that's okay for us. I'm glad as it is coming to PS4 and not just 5. I've got 4 out and I only need 2. It is a bit of a shame for the PC players though, unfortunately. They'll have to wait a little bit longer. You might not be able to play it once it launches, but when it at launch date, but a few months later you may be able to. It is a bit of a shame though. You don't really want to be getting a console just for the sake of one game. I mean, I must admit it's what I've done in the past. I did get the Xbox purely because of Tomb Raider at first, and I got the PS4 purely because of a Ratchet & Clank game that came out on it, but the 2016 edition, it was based on the film. The game was okay, but it wasn't that brilliant. Not compared to the originals. I much prefer the original games and the narrative of the original games. Yeah. yeah, some games are very annoying like that. I must admit, as I don't enjoy the fact that with some games you have to pay. Like with Fortnite, you have to pay for the season. Well, there's some games, obviously you've brought the game itself, but then you have to pay for the season pass to be able to do the extra stuff. Like Division. I mean, Division's a good game, but you do have to pay for the season pass, or you did have to pay for it so that you could do some of the online campaigns and stuff. And the whole game's online anyways, but to do like the underground stuff and that, you had to pay for. So that is the butterfly finished. So that's what this one looks like. It's a bit of a shame that you can't see, I don't know why that's paused. You can't really see some of the details on the bigger stones, because these white stones here right. Well, you don't have to pay for the subscriptions. You don't have to have the subscriptions. The subscriptions are more if you want to play online and stuff sometimes, but not always. But still, I must admit is I don't like what PlayStation did across me. Yeah, I was saying these white ones here, you can't see on the camera, but they've actually got a little silver star painted on them. But you can't see on my phone. Even if I take it as close as I can, you still can't see because it gets blurry, unfortunately. But they have got little stars on them. So that's that one. So then hi Mrs. J. So then the next one I will do probably next week now will be one of these two. And like I said, I'll do the backs by myself. And I've got there's a chain and a hook. There's a chain and a hook that you can make it into a key ring, which you could put onto keys or onto bags or something. So yeah, that's the one side done. And then there's the other side to do as well. So they're double-sided, which makes them different as well. And each pattern's different, which is good. So yeah, that's it. So that is it for this live stream, guys. Thank you for coming in, Mrs. J, but I'm literally about to finish. Just one of those things. Alright, so thank you to everyone that's come and chatted to me. And I'll chat to you all probably, maybe Sunday I might do another live, I don't know. It depends. Thank you, Mrs. J. Right, so I'll speak to you all soon. Have a good... yeah, everyone have a great weekend and a good day and stuff. And bye for now.